You wake up, and for a moment, there's silence. The world hasn't yet demanded anything from you. But then, almost instantly, the noise begins. Notifications, emails, the endless scroll of other people's lives, the weight of expectations, yours and everyone else's. You move through your day, checking boxes, chasing deadlines, trying to keep up, trying to get ahead. And yet, somewhere deep inside, there's a quiet ache, a sense that something is missing, that no matter how much you achieve, how much you accumulate, how much you distract yourself, there's a restlessness that never quite goes away. You're not alone. In fact, you're in the vast majority. Most people spend their entire lives searching for something they can't quite name. They chase happiness, success, love, recognition, thinking that if they just get that one thing, then they'll finally feel at peace. But the truth is, most people never find inner peace. Not because it's impossible, not because it's reserved for monks on mountaintops or sages in distant lands, but because they're looking in the wrong places, asking the wrong questions, and living by the wrong rules. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not just relaxed, not just entertained, but deeply, unshakably at peace. For most, the answer is either I can't remember or I'm not sure I ever have. And yet, we all crave it. We all want that sense of calm, that feeling of being whole, of being enough, of being at home in our own skin. So why is it so rare? Why do so many people spend their lives searching but never arriving? To answer that, let's start with a story. Not of a samurai, but of someone much closer to home. Imagine a man named Daniel. Daniel is successful by every external measure. He has a good job, a loving family, a comfortable home. He's respected by his peers, admired by his friends. But inside, Daniel is restless. He wakes up every morning with a sense of anxiety he can't quite explain. He fills his days with activity, always moving, always doing, always striving. But at night, when the world is quiet, the restlessness returns. He wonders, is this all there is? Why can't I just be content? Daniel's story is not unique. In fact, it's the story of millions. Maybe it's your story. Maybe it's the story of someone you love. The details change, but the pattern is the same. Outwardly, everything looks fine. Inwardly, there's a storm, and the more Daniel tries to fix it by changing his circumstances, getting a promotion, buying something new, planning the next vacation, the elusive peace becomes. It's like chasing the horizon. No matter how fast you run, it never gets any closer. Here's the first truth most people never realize. Inner peace is not something you find out there. It's something you create in here. But almost everyone is conditioned to look outside themselves. From the time we're children, we're taught that peace, happiness, and fulfillment are rewards for achievement, for doing, for having. We're told, if you work hard, if you're good enough, if you get it right, then you'll be happy. So we spend our lives on a treadmill, always running, never arriving. Contrast that with the rare few who seem to radiate peace, no matter what's happening around them. Maybe you've met someone like that. They're not necessarily rich or famous or even particularly accomplished by society's standards, but there's something about them, a calm, a presence, a sense of being grounded. They move through life with a kind of quiet confidence, unshaken by the storms that send others into panic. What's their secret? Were they born different? Did they just get lucky? No. The difference is not in their circumstances, but in their approach. While most people are busy trying to control the world around them, these rare individuals have learned to master the world within. They've discovered that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of clarity. It's not about escaping discomfort, but about embracing reality as it is, without resistance. But let's be honest, that sounds good in theory, but in practice, it feels almost impossible. How do you find peace when your mind is a battlefield, when your heart is heavy, when the world feels chaotic and uncertain? How do you stop the endless cycle of worry, regret, and self-doubt? The answer begins with understanding the real enemy. Most people think their lack lack of peace is caused by their circumstances, stress at work, conflict in relationships, financial pressure, health issues. But the truth is, the real source of suffering is not what happens to us, but how we relate to what happens. It's the stories we tell ourselves, the judgments we make, the resistance we create. It's the constant mental commentary, the shoulds and shouldn'ts, the endless comparison to others and to some imagined ideal. Think about it. Two people can experience the exact same event, losing a job, for example, and have completely different reactions. One spirals into anxiety and despair, convinced they're a failure. The other sees it as an opportunity, a chance to grow, to start something new. The difference isn't in the event, but in the mindset. In the space between what happens and how we respond, that's where peace is either lost or found. So why do most people never find it? Because they never learn to look in that space. They're so busy reacting, so caught up in their thoughts and emotions that they don't even realize there's another way to be. They think, I am anxious, I am angry, I am not enough. But what if you could step back and see those thoughts and feelings as passing clouds, not as the sky itself? This is where the journey begins, not with changing your life, but with changing your relationship to your own mind, not with doing more, but with being more present, not with striving for some future state, but with accepting this moment exactly as it is. But acceptance is not resignation. It's not giving up or settling for less. It's the opposite. Acceptance is the foundation of transformation. When you stop fighting reality, you free up all the energy you were wasting on resistance. That energy can now be used to create, to heal, to grow. This is the paradox. The more you try to force peace, the more it slips away. The more you allow things to be as they are, the more peace finds you. Let's return to Daniel. After years of chasing peace through achievement, he finally reached a breaking point. One night, unable to sleep, he sat in the darkness and asked himself a question he'd been avoiding. What if nothing out there can give me what I'm looking for? For the first time, he stopped running. He sat with his discomfort, his restlessness, his longing. He didn't try to fix it or distract himself. He just noticed it. And in that moment, something shifted. The storm didn't disappear, but he realized he was not the storm. He was the sky, vast enough to hold it all. This is the turning point for anyone seeking inner peace. The realization that you are not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your circumstances. You are the awareness behind it all. When you see this, even for a moment, a door opens. You begin to experience a peace that is not dependent on anything outside of you, a peace that is always available, even in the midst of chaos. But awareness alone is not enough. The world will keep pulling you back into old patterns, old stories, old habits. That's why the second step is practice. Inner peace is not a one-time achievement. It's a daily discipline, a way of living. Just as a musician practices scales or an athlete trains their body, you must train your mind. This doesn't mean you need to meditate for hours or retreat from the world. It means bringing mindful attention to your everyday life. Start small. When you wake up, before you reach for your phone, take 3 deep breaths. Notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Listen to the sounds around you. For those few moments, let go of the need to do anything, fix anything, become anything. Just be. Throughout your day, pause whenever you remember. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, your body. Are you tense? Are you rushing? Are you lost in worry or regret? Gently bring yourself back to the present. Over time, these small moments of awareness add up. They create space, and in that space, peace grows. Contrast this with the way most people live. They're always somewhere else, replaying the past, rehearsing the future, never fully here. They believe peace will come when everything is finally under control, when all their problems are solved, when they become the perfect version of themselves. But that day never comes. There's always another problem, another goal, another reason to postpone peace. The truth is, if you can't find peace now, in the midst of your imperfect life, you never will, because peace is not a destination. It's a way of traveling. But what about the real challenges? The pain, the loss, the injustice, the heartbreak. Isn't it naive to talk about inner peace when the world is so full of suffering? This is where the deepest wisdom comes in. Inner peace is not about escaping pain. It's about meeting pain with compassion, with courage, with presence. It's about allowing yourself to feel what you feel, without judgment, without resistance. It's about holding your own suffering and the suffering of others with tenderness, not turning away, not numbing out. There's a story from the Zen tradition about a student who asked his master, "How do I find peace?" The master replied, "By letting go." The student asked, "Letting go of what?" The master said, "Everything." At first, this sounds impossible. How can you let go of everything? But the point is not to abandon your responsibilities or relationships. It's to let go of your attachment to how things should be. To let go of the belief that you need to control everything. To let go of the idea that you are incomplete as you are. This is the heart of all great spiritual traditions. Whether it's the Buddhist practice of non-attachment, the Christian teaching of surrender, or the Stoic acceptance of what is, the message is the same. Peace comes not from changing the world, but from changing your relationship to the world, from letting go of the illusion of control and opening to the reality of the present moment. So, how can you begin? Here are 3 simple practices you can start today. First, practice presence. Set aside a few minutes each day to simply be. No agenda, no distractions. Sit quietly, breathe, and notice what's happening inside and around you. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Over time, you'll find that peace is not something you have to create, it's what remains when you stop disturbing yourself. Second, practice acceptance. Whenever you notice yourself resisting reality, wishing things were different, judging yourself or others, fighting against what is, pause, take a breath, remind yourself, this is what's happening right now. You don't have to like it, you don't have to approve of it, but you can accept that it's here. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity, it means seeing clearly so you can respond wisely. And third, practice compassion. Be kind to yourself. Most people are at war with themselves, constantly criticizing, blaming, pushing, but you can't find peace by fighting yourself. When you make a mistake, when you fall short, when you're hurting, offer yourself the same kindness you would offer a friend, and extend that compassion to others. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you can't see. These practices are simple, but not easy. They require patience, persistence, and courage. But over time, they transform you. You become less reactive, more resilient, more at ease. You discover a peace that is not dependent on circumstances, a peace that is your true nature. Daniel's story didn't end with a single moment of insight. It became a daily journey. Some days were easy, others were hard, but gradually he noticed a shift. The restlessness faded, the anxiety softened. He still had challenges, still faced setbacks, but he was no longer defined by them. He found a quiet confidence, a sense of being at home in himself. And the people around him noticed. His relationships deepened, his work became more meaningful. He became a source of calm in a chaotic world. This is possible for you too. You don't need to escape your life or become someone else. You don't need to wait for the world to change. You can begin right now, exactly where you are. The path to inner peace is not a straight line. It's a spiral, a dance, a return to what you've always known but forgotten. It's the journey of coming home to yourself. So, as this video comes to an end, I invite you to pause, take a breath, notice the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind, the feelings in your heart. Whatever is here, let it be. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to change it. Just notice. And in that noticing, you may discover a peace that was always there, waiting for you to remember. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to take one small action today. Maybe it's a moment of stillness, a a kind word to yourself, a gentle breath. Whatever it is, let it be enough. Inner peace is not found in grand gestures, but in the simple act of being present, right here, right now. Thank you for watching. If you want to go deeper into these practices, subscribe to the channel for more content on living with clarity, courage, and compassion. And if you're ready to take the next step, watch the video on your screen now, where I share more tools and stories to help you create the peace you deserve. Remember, the journey to inner peace begins with a single step. Will you take it?